Right.
So we're now in recording mode?
Now we're actually in take 2. Hello everyone, sorry about that. And this time it's my very pleasure, thanks to Christian for the shout out that I should introduce my own studio. We are here at Studio Dreamcatcher and I'm with the very lovely DrakenWerks. This time not just with the amazingly talented Draken, but also with Kelly, who's also very much involved in the band, who we brought in for this time around.
As you may gather, we're back out here again because we've been recording the next album. It's been quite a long path since the last album. We've done quite a few things. We've been out there plugging the last album. It went to number 2 in the album charts for the Deutsche Alternative charts, the DAC there. Very pleased with how it was received amongst DJs all across the world there. It's been played up on radio stations, club nights and everything. We've also been playing a lot. We played a lot across the UK itself. So we supported like Aesthetic Perfection in Bristol. We supported Mortis. We've been playing in London. We've been playing Bristol, Cardiff, Swansea.
So it's going very well for you, right?
It's going very well at the moment.
And you also had your first European shows, right?
Yeah, first mainland Europe show, yeah. So
Right,
yeah, that's right down there.
Given that you don't count the UK as part of the EU anymore.
No.
Which is actually the second time I bring this joke up, but it's based on the true story.
It's sore point. But we played in Madrid at the beginning of the year, supporting Leather Strip as well. That was great fun as well, and it was nice to be able to get out of the UK as well and start actually pushing out a bit further. So we've been going quite well on our side of the front of things, and obviously you've been quite busy as well in the studio here. You've had a plethora of bands that you've been producing.
Yeah, we're having a celebratory drink on ourselves. I specifically asked Kelly if she wanted one too. She said no. So. Not that you think I'm very rude. Oh yeah, she does.
She has, yeah.
I got myself.
So we're gonna cheers to that.
So in the last year, you've been involved in a few bits and pieces as well, haven't you? It's, you've done a bit of production. Your production schedule's got stupidly busy.
Yeah, it got stupid busy. I think I already did like 5 albums.
We really get in there and book well in advance to get time with Gregor these days. But
people always come to me like, why don't you announce your webpage more? Hey, your studio website only has like 10 likes, and I'm like, yeah, but if I advertise that, more people will write me. I'm like booked, like it's stupid to announce a studio or to advertise for a studio that has no time until like 2 months from now.
A good plumber never advertises. A good plumber never has to advertise because he's always put on by word of mouth recommendation. He has his client base. He's never out of work, so he doesn't need to advertise.
That's kind of my philosophy. I mean, when I came into production a couple of years back, my very first production was Lame Motel. For the 20 years anniversary of them, and doing the live playbacks for the tours and everything. I just kind of built my client base from there, from scratch. Like I, try to build up artists that were already very, very ambitious, but struggling as far as production, and all these things are concerned. And because these people are just very, very awesome and loyal, they just stuck with me. So at some point, when I finished the album of one guy, the other one was already having the next one in the pipeline, and it just starts all over again. So yeah, I didn't really have to advertise much. Maybe that changed at some point, but I'm really happy with this so far. And it's been like such a crazy year right from the get-go. Like the V2A album that we produced was incredibly successful. It got us on the Agra stage at VGT. Yeah, they're gonna play Burning Man. They're gonna play Wasteland and all these gigantic festivals. I'm so happy with them. It turns out to be one of the biggest successes.
Good shout out to them as well.
Yeah, one of the biggest successes produced here, and that was like produced like beginning of January, and it had to be done like before end of January because of a couple of delays and a couple of unfortunate accidents. But yeah, we managed to get that out, and it turned out to receive some amazing reception. Then I had a new and very promising artist from Switzerland with his project Dunkelsucht, which was also an album, also released as well as an EP, and produced pretty much before end of January, like beginning of February. Yeah. So that was already like 2 albums in the first 1.5 months, and I think I'm like close to 4.5 or 5 albums now, and I think I'm gonna finish this year with doing at least 7 or 8.
It's just a fair whack of work.
That's crazy.
You're still playing live as well, so it's like, you've been going to these big festivals as well. And, it's like spot the band that Gregor's in, because it's like every other or that you go down the list there. I mean,
where's Waldo?
Yeah, I mean, V2A again got you up on stage, didn't they, for Mera Luna, wasn't it? I think.
No, that was for VGT, for the Agra stage.
Yeah, sorry, wrong one. Yeah, so they dragged you in there for that one and got them up on the Agra there playing away, and that was obviously they had a great reception for that one. And then you were also at Amphi with 2 bands, I think, wasn't it? You were playing on stage with.
Yeah. That was with my good friend Mark Roberts from We Are Temporary on the Sunday, and Nachma on Saturday. And Sunday that was really crazy because it was a live experience like I haven't had it before. He's such an amazing musician. I admire him so much. He's actually a better musician than I will ever be. And we were jamming out, rehearsing his songs here in the studio. And we just got to play around with the outboard synths that we have here. And he's also a gigantic synth geek. And we just toyed around with things. And he was like, you know what? We should really have that sound on stage. And it was this massive bass patch on the Dave Smith Pro 2 here. And we're like, yeah, but there's no way you can get this amount of bass on already, produced playback tracks. So we better take the bass out of the track altogether, just do it live. But that comes with huge implications. Like, you can play on a live track, like we do. So you really add something to the show, but if you want to, jump and interact with the audience, it's not going to be a deal breaker. But if you play bass, you better have your timing on point.
Spot on, yeah.
You still have, everything on point. Rhythm, tonality, because if you fuck up, the singer will be so confused that he also loses his timing and the entire song, could collapse in the very worst case. So while doing that, and yet not appear stiff, not stop moving, just standing there and focus on the playing. That was a really cool experience, given that we only had like 1 week to play, but we got such an amazing reception. We played on the Sunday on that boat. I remember on this, it was on this ship. The Amphi Festival stage that they have on the MS Rhein Energie, and it was supposed to be right next to the riverside of the festival, so people could go right from the festival grounds to the boat. But it was like a very low river level at that point, so people had to walk all the way across the bridge and get over there. Like, I don't know, it's Sunday noon, it's a good 25 minutes walk.
If you don't know Germany and Cologne, when he says walk across the bridge, it's not like a small little bridge.
No, we're talking like...
The bridge is massive.
We're talking like the Rhine Bridge.
You're talking about a good mile and a half, 2 mile walk.
Yeah, it takes you a while. So we thought there's no way anybody's going to show up, right? I mean, everybody's still groggy from the party of the previous evening. There's no way. Yeah, 10 minutes after doors, it was full. So that was really, really cool. Also, thanks to people like Thomas, that was so cool. He just brought buddies along. I was like, hey guys, you should really check this out. It's really amazing every time how he supports, his friends.
He does.
We're all really grateful for that.
Very much appreciated, I think, by everyone who does.
So yeah, I mean, that's kind of, to answer your question, that's kind of how I try to split it. Like, it's mainly on the weekends that we have the shows, and during the weeks I mainly do the studio and production work, and also vocal recording more and more, which is something I didn't expect, because I'm like on the countryside here between at the borderlands between the Netherlands and Germany.
Your hospitality, the fact that you got a great studio here, you're able to put your expertise into that. I think.
And it's probably also just the help of somebody taking care of all the recording duties, so you can focus purely on your vocals, as we're probably going to talk about in a bit. But it's going really well. I think it's been quite unheard of that a completely unsigned band that nobody had on the radar 2 years ago actually went into the DAC and peaked at top 2. I mean, that's pretty amazing. It's an amazing achievement. Also at VGT, like if I think back last year, at Agra, this huge after party on Saturday with thousands of people there, suddenly Get Down from No Prisoners is playing. I mean, that's amazing stuff. It's amazing stuff. I think that's also not just thanks to your efforts and the production work, but it's also to a lot of friends helping out, like Thomas from Nachma pushing the thing.
Shout out there. Thank you, Thomas, for that one as well.
And it's just been going very well. So what I'd also be quite interested in is to know what differences you experienced with your first show on the European mainland as compared to your UK shows. Do you feel it's like less of a home gig, like less of a home run?
It is a little bit. For us, it is also the logistics of it. You got to consider more when you're flying. Normally, if we're doing a UK gig, you can go, right, doesn't matter what we're going to pack in the car. As long as it fits in the car, it's fine.
Load up the car and off you go.
And when you're playing sort of mainland Europe, you've got to start thinking, hang on a minute, we've got to have the logistics of it. So, right, we can't take the big keyboards because we're trying to keep your flight costs down. So, not taking so much luggage and everything else as well at the same time, but still being able to provide exactly the same show when you get out there.
Right.
You also have the consideration of the fact that you're going into a country where we may not know the language as well as we do our own language, obviously. So you got that consideration to do.
Right.
But I was completely blown away with the response from the Spanish fans out there. The Spanish audience was amazing.
Spanish
when they were
was
out
so
there.
good. I love
the
playing them.
reception we received of it was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Fantastic.
And yeah, Blanca, the
Really good.
promoter, absolutely fabulous when we were out there. And she just looked after us while we were out there.
Right.
It was just a really nice experience altogether, so it was good.
That's amazing. So if we have some people who already seen our last video interview together, there's a slight difference here in that we have brought another person in who's also involved in the band. That's Kelly. You want to introduce yourself a little bit? Like, what exactly are you doing? Like, what do you do? Who are you?
Yeah, who are you? Well, yeah, I've never seen you before.
Who are you? Get out of here.
I have mostly, in the past, my main role in the band has been in the live shows. I've been playing synth in the live shows.
Right.
Coordinating the music. But
I mean, you've been there from the beginning. You've been supporting us since the beginning.
But you're here in the
Yeah.
studio right now, which is not a live
Now-
environment.
now,
So how come?
because I have been muscling my way more into it.
Increasing
Infiltration,
responsibility.
I see.
Increasing
I see.
responsibility.
Infiltration, right there.
The last half dozen shows.
Yeah.
I think it would be that we did.
Maybe a bit more, but yeah.
Probably a little bit more. I've actually started doing some backing vocals on as well.
Oh,
Adding
cool.
some additional vocals to the live show. So not just playing anymore. I've actually been doing vocals too, and now I've added some vocals onto the new album as well.
All right.
So, yeah,
Exciting
so
stuff.
the new album will have backing vocals from Kelly on there. We didn't have that on No Prisoners. We got our female voices from other sources, and which actually now Kelly's been doing those voices in the live versions instead. So,
Right.
and now that we're doing the next album, it seems to make sense now to have Kelly actually do the backing vocals on this album. And we also have one track where actually she takes over completely. And you just say slowly
My
muscling,
own
and
track.
she has her own track where she is the main vocal throughout.
Right on, right on.
And that's going to be it'll be intriguing to see how that track goes down.
Maybe the
'cause
beginning of a new era.
It could be, it could be. It may be that I'm going to be kicked out the band.
Next time
soon,
we're
and
sitting
it's
here with the
gonna-
two of us, like, welcome!
Draken's gone.
Slight
It's not
change.
DrakenWerks anymore. It's KellyWerks.
Kelly
now.
works! Nice one, nice
Taking
one.
over. Kicking Draken to the back of the stage.
That's not good.
Right.
But that track in itself is quite an intriguing track because the whole reason we got you to do the main vocals in there is because it's not in English.
Yeah, that's quite remarkable actually, if you think about it.
And the language that it's in, I have trouble pronouncing the words in it, so I couldn't do it myself. But Kelly had no
Slightly.
problems.
So
Slight problem pronouncing in that language.
It's a language not not very much used in this scene, I reckon.
No, I don't know if I've ever encountered a dark electro band that's
Right.
ever used this language before for the music. It works really well, though. I think from what I've heard from the feedbacks on it.
Gotcha.
And it's in basically our home language in Wales. It's Welsh. We've put a track in Welsh, and
Cool.
I'd be intrigued to see how that goes down as well. How not just people back home in Wales take it and take to it, because there are many people in Wales who are quite proud of their heritage and their language.
Right.
But also how the rest of the world takes it as well, receiving a track that's in this language they may not necessarily have heard before, and see how that comes across.
Industrial.
Welsh industrial.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's really not a language any industrial song has ever been written in, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think I've ever heard of a track being done in Welsh before, so it would be quite.
Wow, that's quite exciting.
It
Yeah.
might be the start of something new as well in that one.